Hey there. Rigaroga here. You're there. At least I hope you're there. Welcome to another session of D&D. Um, I seem to be boxed in a little. I don't know what that's all about. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm running late today. But I wanted to do this. Man, the party is in a rough way. As you may recall, if you watched the last video. Oh my god. So, Tufirlo and friends, Plant and Octopus, who are sidekicks, journeyed to a particular town, managed to hire, accidentally spilled the beans about the fact that they were, had some information about the island that they're going to and stuff, and was overheard, but managed to hire passage to Port Zavo on Zavros, which is where Fayette, who was the navigator for Captain Blackheart, had been settled after escaping. And so that was who had drawn, it was Fayette who had drawn a map and written in a journal about the island with no name, where a vast treasure was awaiting discovery. And so Tufirlo and friends had managed to get all the way to Port Zavo. At the tavern, they managed to hire a sketchy Captain Mags, for that next part of the journey. Having revealed to Mags a little bit about the map, and that there were latitude, and Mags actually saw from the back of that there was latitude and longitude on the actual map. So Mags knows where the island is, but doesn't know any of the details other than that Tufi had gathered from the journal. And as Tufi was, making last preparations, exchanging a barnacled light pistol, which I'm kind of like, I kind of actually want it back now. I want it to be all barnacle-y. Maybe we'll switch it back at some point. Or maybe it got lost. Anyhow, we'll get to that. So as Tufi was sort of gathering stuff, let me... when Tufi gathered some stuff in town, doing last minute stuff, just before leaving, made their way as a party, with a wheelbarrow, with plants, terrarium, and octopus's barrel, wheeling it on down to the dockside, and got ambushed. That did not go well. That did not go well at all. As you may recall, this is where we left off. That's Plant, that's Tufi, that's Octopus, and we're all down. And we're surrounded. Okay. So anyhow, I do want to say really quickly, if you're new, that this is the starter adventure from Seas of Vodari. It's the quick start guide, which was sent out to backers. This is not the full campaign setting. I don't know what's in the full campaign setting yet. And a lot of the art and graphics and stuff won't be set until November. I have, all sorts of stuff that I can do later on, but this is just the beginning adventure. So items, there'll be a lot of lot of new setting and items and magic and all that kind of stuff in the actual book when it comes out. But this is the beginning adventure. But I wanted to start out and see where we got. And where we got is in a whole lot of trouble. Right here in River City. I mean, Zavo. Okay, so let me remind you what happened. Basically, in this combat, what happened is that they got ambushed. Tufi set off a thunder wave, cleared out a bunch, and then they continued to battle and stuff. Now, the thing I realized is that after the very first hit, Tufi should have triggered as a reaction her shield, which would have lasted through the next round. So what should have happened is we should have had Thunder Wave, shield should have been triggered off, which would have been a full spell, but it would have been not her turn, so that would have worked. And then when it came around, then she should have done like Shocking Grasp or Siren's Lament or something like that. So the combat was so close, she might have been able to make it, but they did not. They all got knocked out. Now, so there was this huge sound of thunder wave, and they're right outside the Lucky Mermaid. Let's turn back time a little bit. So as Tufi was making their way through town, the party, with the wheelbarrow, let's just we'll go back. The camera is going to look back and sort of from a distance, from like a darkened alley, where kind of the camera is watching Tufi go through town, and then the angle changes and maybe watching from a different alley, a different angle. What we're seeing is someone in the shadows and alleyways is following Tufi, and the moment that Tufi sort of gets in front of the tavern and is accosted, this person who's been following casts message. You can see them casting an arcane thing, and what they say is, "Captain, we've got trouble with our cargo at the Lucky Mermaid." So that happens. Now let's cut to the interior of the Lucky Mermaid, and the camera sort of looks around through this sort of tavern, people drinking, and it's not late. I mean, these are the career drinkers, right? But then we pan over to the bar, and on the bar, leaned against the bar, is a giant turtle shell just leaning against the bar. And it's like, okay, why does no one in the bar think this is strange? There's like, everything else is relatively normal, right? I mean, as normal as it can be for D&D, right? But there's this giant turtle shell leaned against the bar. But nobody seems to be reacting to it. And then as we're trying to figure out, like, what the hell is going on with this turtle shell? That's when we hear time has caught up to the thunder wave outside. And so there's this booming sound and a couple screams as some of the gang dies from the force of the blast. And then from the side of this turtle shell, we see peeking out a turtle head, sort of looking to the side. What? Oh, no. And you see it get up. Now, okay, so cut to the exterior. This is a few moments later. Scuffles have happened. Tufi, Octopus, and Plant are all unconscious, being surrounded by Pearl Voss and the gang. And then you hear a slam as the doors of the Lucky Mermaid slam open to reveal this gigantic turtle. Clearly some sort of warrior, comes out and just surveys the situation. Why are you picking on that girl? Boy? What? Why are you picking on that little blue person? And and Pearl directs the gang to go. Okay, stop that turtle. I need to find this stuff. So Pearl is now rifling through Tufi's stuff, trying to find, this map that's been talked about, and then the gang rushes up to the turtle, a turtle, and so what we see is sort of like that, the football thing, the not the scrim, but the pile-on, where we sort of see the gang piling up to the turtle, and then all of a sudden we hear just a kaboom, and we see the gang like fall away, and there's Turtle standing there with this gigantic ass blunderbuss, just this huge gun, and it's still smoking, and the camera pans down to the gang, and the gang has like bits of sea glass and shell and a couple nails, all just like just totally peppered them. Pearl is like, what the hell? And then Turtle drops the blunderbuss and starts reaching around. Pearl is like, holy shit, and starts rifling faster. Turtle switches, just sort of whips around a trident and a net, and starts, just gets in position, and then scrapes the trident across the dock, and it like lets out some, against maybe the rusty nails or whatever, lets off some sparks and makes a line, and then gets ready. Okay, who's gonna be first across this line? And gets ready to spearfish, right? With a grimace and tongue out, maybe a little hawkeye. Now at this point, Pearl is like, finds the map and the journal in Jen, shut up. Jesus. Jen. Shh. Shush. Jen. Quiet. I'm telling a story here. Jen. Jen. Come here. Up. No, you're just gonna make a lot of noise. Oh my god. Okay, shut up. Jen, stop it. I'm recording. Okay, anyhow, where was I? So Pearl sees this and has found the map in the journal, and her instructions were to get Tufi for questioning, but she's found these things, and it's the best she can do. The gang is basically on its own. Jen, stop. Hold on, I'll be right back. Jen, stop it. Shut up. Come here. Hi. Yeah, get in my lap. So Pearl cuts and runs. I mean, the gang is on their own. She's got to get this stuff to whomever she's reporting to, and at this point, as Pearl runs off in run direction back to town or somewhere, this is when basically the Marines or crew boarding party from Captain Meggs' ship, who we had hired for the next leg of the journey. Jen, stop it. Stop. Come on. Jen, stop it. Shush, go away. Okay. Trying to tell a story here in the cast, making all this noise. Oy. Okay, so Pearl's run, and like the boarding crew, the Marines, from Captain Meggs' ship, show up, answering the call from the spy who had been protecting the cargo, Tufi. And they make a firing line. They just sort of, get in line and just fuselage into what they think is going on, and that's Turtle with a trident and a net, and the rest of the whatever's left of the gang. Jen, stop it! Shush! Go away! Shh! Shh! Shut up! Shush! Jen! Jen! Shut up! Shush! God damn it. Jen! Stop! Jen! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Go away! Go away! Go away! Go away! Go away! Go away! Okay. Hi. Okay. So Mag's Marines, they fire on Turtle and the rest of the gang. The rest of the gang is basically decimated. Turtle is like, oh, geez, and like drops everything and shells up. And then what happens is the Marines from Mag's ship, they grab Tufi, and they're joined by the spy that had been watching from the alley, and they all book it to Mag's, to the ship that's getting ready to leave. And then like a couple seconds later, Turtle pops out of his shell and like checks that everything is all clear. Well, that was not at all friendly. Takes stock of the scene. Looks down, grabs Octopus, and Plant. Lucky for you two, I already ate. And then we cut. Fade to black, and then we sort of we do one of those cuts where the camera has like eyes opening, slowly sort of fades in. And we're inside of a ship. We can see like light rocking. It doesn't seem to be moving. It's just rocking with the waves. And there's lights, in here. And then we slowly focus and we see that there are bars. And then we switch angles and realize that it's Tufi in the brig. So Tufi's woken up in the brig on Mag's ship. Been taken prisoner. She doesn't have her friends. She doesn't have her stuff. And as Tufi's sort of taking stock, Mags is on the other side, just sort of, or a guard, signals, go get Mags. Prisoner's awake. And a few minutes later, Mags comes in, and Tufi's like, where are my friends? What happened? How'd you get me? And why am I in your brig? And Mags is like, well, you got jumped, and you got jumped by hold on. I don't remember the guy's name. Who was it? Oh, come on. Why won't my bookmark go? Okay, so who is my yeah, you got jumped by Captain Taggart. His crew, they're a rival gang of ours. I sort of hoped that this would go smoother, but I know where the island that you're going to with the treasure at is. You showed me the latitude and longitude, but I don't have any of the other details. So I need you to tell me what else you know so that I can get that treasure. Um, and they have the conversation, and Mags is like, you saw the journal. Taggart has the journal and the map now, and you're the only one that I have that has read that journal and knows what to look for on the island. We've got to get there before Taggart, so we're leaving right now, and Taggart's going to be right behind us, and we've got to get there first, and you're going to help me get that treasure. So basically, that's the deal, is that Mags grabbed Tufi in order to still have access to the information that she needs to complete the journey on the island. Once she gets to the island, she doesn't know what to do next. So let's, the camera then cuts to an exterior of Mags's ship, her crew, the Albatross. We see the front of the ship with the name and the back of it, and we. Isn't it? It's on both, right? Anyhow, so we see the prow, and we see the Albatross written on it, and we see whatever figure it is that's on the front of the ship, and then we come out, and everybody's setting sail, and all the sails are being filled with wind as we're pulling out of Zavo, of Port Zavo. And as Meg's ship sort of rounds the corner just outside the port, we see shortly thereafter another ship set sail. And what we see is the Sea Devil on the front of that ship. And so that one comes out. So Mags is off. And then we see the Sea Devil, and on the Sea Devil we see Pearl Voss next to a captain, and the captain is Captain Tag. We understand from context that this is Captain Taggart, and that they're following Mags, and they're Pearl is handing the journal and the map to Captain Taggart. So that looks bad. And then so Mags is off, and then as the Sea Devil rounds that same corner, then shortly after that, with the rule of three, we see from around behind the bar, we pan back and we see from behind the bar a really sleek, small trimaran proa, all wood and but relatively small, and it starts to slip out with sails and turtle on deck of this trimaran. So it's got the main hull with the sail, and then it's got the two outriggers, and then nets on those. And we see Turtle sort of, getting stuff, pulling ropes and setting ropes, and steering out of the docks, whistling and maybe humming some sea shanties. And on the deck, on the nets, strung to the outrigger, we see a bunch of stuff, but within that is plants, terrarium, and octopus's barrel, and we see them slowly start to wake up, like there's an empty potion of healing or whatever next to them, that's been poured into their little environments, so that's what we got. We've been captured by Captain Mags, who we sort of knew was going to betray us, but we didn't think it was quite going to work out that way. And then we've got Captain Taggart with the map and the journal, following Mags. And then we've got Turtle, who's a new third sidekick, a turtle who's going to be a warrior sidekick, following along with Plant and Octopus. There's literally no way that Mags doesn't know Taggart is following, even if Mags didn't see. And let's roll. Let's roll a perception check for Taggart to see. We'll roll two different times for each day. 17 and 15. So I think the first day they see they notice the proa following along super quick, and I suspect that it stays out of the way, but it's going to be the proa as a trimaran is going to be super quick, so I suspect it catches up pretty close to Taggart. And so I think everybody's going to end up getting really close in to this island when they get there. But it's going to take about 2 days of sailing for that to happen. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. This is actually the spot where I thought last episode was gonna end. But that's a lot of stuff to take in. And I need to figure out what's going to happen next. I need to... it took me a while to sort of sort out how that was going to fall out. And then we've got Turtle as a new sidekick to kind of help out. So Turtle is a turtle warrior sidekick who has a blunderbuss and a trident and net as their main weapons. And so I think when we pick up, we're going to be sailing the 2 days, and then we'll get to the island, and we'll see how far we get when we start up the next episode. So this one was a little bit shorter than regular episodes, but we needed to do that little narrative sort of to do our Hidden Fortress switch over, where the heroes are doomed and now we're only slightly doomed. But it's not looking good, and we'll see how it gets played out in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.